All right, so where do we start? The sights and smells of San Diego Comic-Con or phone throwing at the DNC?
Let's start with Comic-Con. Let's have some cinematic joy in our lives. Hopefully,
Dave, you were there.
I was
had
there.
your own panel there for
We
the
had
Stuff Dreams Are Made
Stuff
of.
Dreams Are Made of panel.
That's awesome.
The recording of it went live on, I guess, yesterday with Todd McFarlane was our special guest. It was really fun.
God.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is a crazy interview with his stories of cutting open cereal boxes to steal baseball cards. Just an amazing story.
Yeah, it's really funny, and yet at the same time you just keep going like, is this really Todd McFarlane? So
I mean, I had some Superman trading cards and I had some Star Wars trading cards, but I never got like a full set of anything, and I was never into baseball cards. So like that was just an interesting insight into something that completely consumed his childhood in a positive way.
I mean, a real collector's gene, just like the I have to complete this. I have to complete this in a great way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
They call that autism nowadays, I think, is what is the I had that for Garbage Pail Kids. Like I was like, I need all of these. I need all of these cards. And that like broke something in me, and I was like, all right, I can't ever do that again. We're gonna have to put that on ice for a while.
What's that behind you on the, you got like the Elden Ring arm thing back there?
I got the arm of Melania, the blade of Mikola. She's never known defeat except by me.
Yeah.
No, I've got some good shit.
There's no Garbage Pail Kids behind you though.
I'm going home to St. Louis in 2 weeks, where it was a heat index of 125 this past week.
Jesus.
And I plan to do some light rating on my childhood memories there. See what things we can bring home with us.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do the rest.
I will tell you really quickly, because you did say the smells. Since COVID, this was the first year I didn't wear a mask at Comic-Con. I have been masked every year. And this year I spoke with my wife, who's a pediatrician, and we talked a lot about it. And it was like, because I'm still wearing masks on airplanes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she said, we haven't seen anything in our office. It's seems pretty quiet right now, COVID wise. Go for it. And I didn't wear a mask. And boy, oh boy, did I forget how, and it was hot down there and the AC wasn't great. But boy, oh boy, I know it's a stereotype, but like, come on, nerds, bathe.
Yeah.
Bathe
Please.
a little bit. Yeah.
Deodorant. Like Sam started using deodorant. He's 8.5 this week. April was like, it's time. So, you got it.
I thought the punch on that was going to be and boy, oh boy, do I have hantavirus now.
Boy, do I have COVID. Yeah. My wife is an idiot. I'm sick. I can't smell anything.
Nothing smelled bad. It was weird. There wasn't any BO smells.
Man. Well, you did give a quick update. I just want to shout out for folks your incredible podcast with dear friend of the pod, Ryan Condal. You guys are all into movie props, and you were the underbidder, I'm sorry to say, on Luke's lightsaber and Luke's cut off hand. You got close, but maybe not that close, as it turns out.
I mean, it was sort of said to me, basically, you weren't going to win, that whoever the other bidder was going to go forever. So
What did it sell for?
It sold for 3 hammer or 3 hammer, I guess.
Okay.
Hammer. Yeah. So almost.
You and I texted about this when it went on, and I didn't realize you were going to be a bidder on it, or I wouldn't have.
I wasn't 1,000% sure when it first went live that I had to have it. I went and saw it in person. I was just like, oh, man, this is really good. Yeah,
really special. Yeah. I would have bet for sure that was going north of 5. Like I just was like, oh, someone out there's got
that's the problem is right now is it really does seem like it is right now, I think for a certain class of Lord knows, I don't know, tech bro, guy, this is the
it feels like
this is
our
the
fault.
Mickey Mantle sign. This is the Mickey Mantle sign ball of the tech world. Yeah.
Someone cashed in 1/48th of their Anthropic stake
not even
buy,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like they
One
shorted
vesting period.
SpaceX or something. So, yeah.
Yeah, but unlike, Todd told the story of getting, is it Mark McGuire's, home run baseball for $3 million. And then a year later, there was a new home run baseball. So now, it only went for $500,000, which he also unfortunately bought. But there aren't going to be more Luke's lightsabers that are coming out, right? It's just not.
No, and that was part of my unfortunate calculation, which was in the last year, the Vader lightsaber sold, and then I know where another lightsaber, and it was like, well, what else might show? This may be not it, but this is going to be about as
Pretty
good
limited.
as it gets, and I still lost. So yeah.
Good try being down
we
there,
try, yeah.
representing for the team.
Representing for all podcasts everywhere. Go on.
Exactly. So now I want to talk about throwing phones at the DNC.
Yeah.
So last time we had you on, we had quite a rollicking political discussion, Dave. So we wanted to get into it again.
Was there
So first of all-
feedback? Did you guys I don't even know your audience.
People
well
love
enough.
it.
Like, oh, good.
People
Okay,
love,
good.
People love us talking about politics, especially the chuds.
They're like, we
who are
we tune in for the movie news, but we don't want that. We want just hardcore politics.
Yeah,
I get it.
People absolutely, the same people who are mad at Matt for saying a fake Latvian accent when we critiqued the Doomsday trailer. I mean, how can it be fake? It's not even a real country. They are going to be stoked about our Ken Martin analysis. Please.
Well, hold on. This is amazing. This is our very first ever viral video. We've got 35,000 views on this on TikTok and 289 comments. I was shocked that people had been yelling at us for days. We had no idea. And yeah, it was all just like that. And I remember in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, Dr. Doom does not have an accent. He just has a robot voice, right? That give you some metallic. You don't need to have a quote unquote Latvian accent. So that's my take. Like you don't need it. What do you think? Am I right?
I mean, here's the problem. What Dr. Doom is this? So
Right.
now we're getting into
question.
it because
Right.
he doesn't seem to be the Dr. Doom of went to university with Reed Richards. It seems, and again, I know nothing, to be some sort of multiverse, sort of like Tony. At first, I thought it was like Tony Stark becomes Doctor, but now maybe it seems like it's just there is no Tony Stark. And I mean, I don't know what I'm looking at. I'll be there. I'm buying a ticket, but so it's hard to kind of go, that Doctor Doom is or isn't supposed to be blank.
Right.
So who knows?
I agree. Yeah. We're in that stuck place.
I think Robert Downey Jr. should do the whole performance as MF Doom and just do a very like faithful recreation of MF Doom throughout the entire.
I feel like at this point, whatever they haven't done yet, like when they relaunch the X-Men, it's just like and Robert Downey Jr. as Cyclops, and then when they're ready, whatever they're gonna get to, you just throw them in. Just
because they have some of Robert Downey Jr.'s blood in a phylactery, and so therefore he has to do their willing for in this universe and all the multiverse to come.
Whatever you come up with, it's just Robert Downey Jr. Yeah.
Whatever it takes. So, there's been a whole flurry of stories that I've been following, but there was a story about Ken Martin in the Times and about him throwing his phone at an intern and basically being afraid of having a coup. Ben Wickler was on Ezra this morning, and that was a great interview.
I hosted or co-hosted an event for Ben Wickler and his book last night, which is incredible. Cool. Highly recommend. The book is called This Is the Plan.
Yes.
And it's beyond fabulous. I was lucky enough to read an early copy. And I was with Ben Wickler last night. Ben Wickler wants nothing to do with the job. I mean, I don't mean to speak for Ben Wickler. Yeah. He's not looking at this point to take over, the DNC,
Right.
And everything that Ken Martin is going through and is dealing with right now is of his own making because he has run that thing into the ground because he was elected by party hacks who just wanted to make sure they got their equal cut of whatever money there was with no thought to building out the DNC or the Democratic Party in certain states where it isn't strong enough, blah, 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 blah. You get what you deserve, and you deserve Ken Martin. Party hacks deserve party hacks. And
that doesn't sound good, Dave.
It's not great. It ain't great.
I did a lot of work in 2019 and 2020 supporting the DNC tech team, working with Nell after Rafi left. And they built a really great tech team to do the kinds of things that we need them to do. So you're one of those, donor folks that are influential there. Like, what do we do? How do we try and get this thing righted? Because we're going to miss this opportunity that we have between now and 2028.
One of the things that, Ben talks about in his book, This Is the Plan, available at Amazon.
That's a great plug. Amazing plug.
And it's not just him. I'm also active with another group called SLAY, which is the State and Local Election Alliance. Who are fabulous as well. I highly recommend them as well. And what everybody's saying, anybody with a brain is basically talking about you win in 2028 by winning in 2026. That's the part people's brains just don't understand. And sometimes I wonder if Ken Martin understands it. I mean, I hear he's a nice guy, so this is not a personal attack. It just makes me insane. And I just, you do worry. What's the phrase? If we're going to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, that starts to feel, what's happening. I've got no great answer, but yeah.
Jason, what do you think?
I just kind of view the DNC as like sort of, it's unfortunate that it's being kind of misrun. But it ultimately won't matter. Like I think like first of all, it's not going to matter for the midterms. We're already we're on the run to the midterms, and then it's whoever becomes the nominee is gonna remake the DNC into whatever.
Well, I hope so. I mean, because Obama was an incredible president, but did not care much about the DNC. Did not care much about those midterms and things like that. And I think there was just there's an opportunity to kind of remake some of these state parties, and it's just not being done. And so you just you just look back and go like another I mean, again, these are lost opportunities. That's the.
This is the fundamental tension is that unlike the RNC, even before Trump, the DNC is a much more federalized, distributed system in which the state parties have great control, and like it is structurally very difficult for the DNC, like the national DNC, to be like, okay, this is what we're doing. The state parties just have a disproportionate amount of control, and they are very interested on the things that affect them directly. And so it is hard to get things done that are obviously strategically meaningful. I mean, one of the initiatives I was involved in previously was like, hey, can we just share data between what the state parties are seeing? And it's like, no, it's fucking impossible because no one wants to give away their data. That's like one of their key assets.
I understand.
And so
what people don't seem to get is that the RNC not only is just doing a better job year in, year out, but they've been running a master playbook basically since like the riots and the Civil Rights Act of basically the 60s. But certainly since Nixon was thrown out of office, they have been running a playbook that they have it was 100 pages, and page 99 was like create law schools and judges, like conservative law schools and judges, then find a way to put them on the Supreme Court bench that they can rubber stamp everything we did. And they got to page 99. Like their playbook is just efficient and wild. And we Dems just can't organize like that. We just can't help it. Yeah.
Maybe Claude can help us. I don't know.
What if we build bigger data centers? Would that help?
Yes. What if we change? What if DNC was Data Center National Committee? What if we just rebranded? Would that make it worth a lot?
I don't know. I just the other thing that I saw this weekend that just broke my heart was Ested Herndon, who has the incredible America Actually podcast. He was interviewing Jim Clyburn, and it was just kind of shocking as he was asking him what lessons he thought the DNC establishment should take from the election of Mamdani and from some of the things that are happening, shifting on people being more against AIPAC funding of candidates and what's going on. And he essentially just said, nope, this is all just media, essentially saying fake news, which was shocking to me that the establishment would think it is okay to just say fake news and there's nothing for us to worry about here. That just seems not good.
I had not seen that. That is a tough one. I mean, I guess within a week or so, we're going to know what's going on in Michigan, which is going to be fascinating. Obviously, we have a replacement candidate who is a different human being. I don't think, as far as we know, they body searched him for Nazi tattoos, and he has none.
Yes, every main candidate has to go through like sort of the Yale naked photo initiation ritual.
That is a birthmark, I swear. But every bit, a working class guy with deep labor roots as Platner was. I think that's going to certainly be interesting. And don't give up on Dan Osborne in Nebraska, or at least keep your eye on Dan Osborne. And certainly if you're a donor and you're thinking about giving some money, let me tell you, people in Texas, like the Tallarico campaign, I'm not sure they can even spend any more money.
They've got the money.
Yeah.
That's not where you need to go.
Take a look at Dan Osborne. Take a look at Iowa. Take a look at
Mary
Mottola.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. In Alaska. And spread some love with your money a little bit there.
Yeah. 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 I think that's well observed. And I think that's the right. I'm very excited for the Michigan primary to be over. I would like nothing more than to.
I would like there to be a candidate. Yeah, no, I know. But I would like there to be a candidate. But I am very concerned that whichever side wins, so to speak, that people are going to take their balls and go home. And I'm really concerned about that. And we Democrats need to understand that it doesn't matter who you were for in the primary. When one of them becomes the candidate, if you go home, then you're going to hand the seat to the Republican, and you have to think about where your values lie. And boy, I'm very nervous. So we'll see. Yeah.
I agree, and I would just like the record to reflect that I refuse the bait to pick a fight with Representative Jim Clyburn because I wish to remain alive in Democratic politics. So Matt could go out on that plank.
It's fine. Listen, I didn't say he had a bad Latvian accent, okay? I did not fear to tread.
He has a terrible South Carolina accent. Go on.
Dave Mandel, showrunner of Veep, writer on Seinfeld, Curb, White House Plumbers, co-host of Stuff Dreams Are Made Of. Welcome back.
What a fucking
to the
resume
pod.
this guy has. It's ridiculous. It's like
Holy cow.
It's a real crawl. Like really just it's amazing. My
Dave,
God.
Why, thank you.
This is your 10th episode.
Is this? Oh my God. What do I get?
Double digits.
What do I get? Do I get a patch?
You get it. You get an immediate invite for episode 11 and probably a request.
We'll book it for 11 and 12. Right? It was a double booking.
And a request for Matt to connect us with Ben Wickler so we can book him as well. We're just right. It's just going to be more bookings.
Always be closing.
How go with the big summer? How go with the
summer's been great for me. The summer of Jason has been delightful. All we're doing is covering sort of, very thinky, heady, pretentious bullshit every week. It's been great. I really have enjoyed it.
Odyssey was a really fun, we don't do
Odyssey was great.
Current movies very often, so it was really fun to go see a movie in the theater and turn around and talk about it. But this week we are really going there. Jason's been really enjoying our Coen's run, and this week we are doing the 1991 Hollywood nightmare Barton Fink. Barton Fink. So that is in just a few minutes. Before we do Jason next week, the summer of Jason continues, and I have to say, speaking of summer, this is probably now, Dave, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, on your podcast, you interviewed the guy who wrote the book, The Future Was Now.
Yes.
About all of the films that came out in 1982. And we have done almost every single one. We've done every single one that he has listed in his book, except for one. And next week, you are going to be tackling at last, T-Baby.
God, I need E.T. to heal my ears after that music.
Sorry. And
we had a end of the year fourth grade graduation party at ET for
wow, dang.
with girls in the theater.
Wow, that's great.
No one sat next to the girls, but anyway, they were there.
It's good because then they wouldn't see you. They wouldn't see you cry when ET was briefly dead.
Scary. That was sad.
Very scary. I haven't seen that movie in 30 years easily.
I have not seen it.
Is the music still meant to be going during this part of the podcast?
I mean, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
All right.
It's also my theme music, so it's E.T.
Right,
it's also
exactly.
That's your walk-on music?
Yeah,
episode 10.
And joining us for that, this is his second time on the podcast, the author of David Lynch's Dune masterpiece in disarray. Is back for his new book, which is about how Spielberg got from Strange Skies or whatever it was called to turning it into E.T., and that is Max Every. So
this is a book. This is a book on the making of E.T.
Yeah.
fascinating. I gotta check that out.
I mean, the Lynch one is the book I know. I haven't read.
That one's good too.
Is the ET one out, or is it coming?
It's pre-order. Pre-order comes out in October.
Pre-order. Okay, yeah.
But you should check out
the Lynch one's great.
Yeah, Masterpiece in Disarray. Great book. So that is next week. E.T. Do you want me to play the sounder again, Jason? Or
no, please. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right, we'll leave it.
Listen to your heart light.
Can we do some quick Hatch news?
Hatch news from...
All right, so we hit Doomsday. We don't have to talk about that anymore. Jason, friend of the pod, Jonathan Tropper, who he's been on the pod a couple of times and then is currently doing Your Friends and Neighbors Season 3 with Hoon. We're working on lining up the two of them to come back on the pod together. But he obviously wrote Starfighter for Ryan Gosling and Sean Levy, and now the three of them are teaming up again for Ghost Rider.
I missed that Tropper was writing it. I saw the Sean Levy Gosling. I didn't know Tropper was writing. That's great. God, I love when the blessings come in for our friends. That's great.
It's crazy.
That's great.
How are you? Does Ghost Rider do anything for you, Dave, or where are you?
I'm excited. I mean, it's an example of, I think I'm more interested in the fact that Ryan Gosling is doing it than I am. Ghost Rider's a comic is fine for me. It's neither here nor there. It's certainly really, really cool looking, but I'm definitely excited. I will say this, with no offense to Sean Levy, who I think is super talented, whatever. I do wish that just other people were allowed to direct Ryan Gosling movies. I guess Starfighter's good, I hope. So who knows? Yeah.
I would like other people to get time with Gosling as well. Share the Gosling. Don't bogart the Gosling, I think is a good policy. I like this backstory on Ghost Rider, which is that, I don't know if I haven't fact checked it. It might be AI slop, but that Gosling saw Ghost Rider 7 with Nick Cage and Eva Mendes is the lady in that, and was funny. Like, I like that lady, and then married her, and now is like,
is not letting her be in the movie, and
exactly. I'm taking amazing. This part of the story, yeah,
that's crazy. I was really disappointed. Because I didn't want him to be wrapped up in more like Marvel IP stuff or whatever. But the fact that he really apparently has been a big Ghost Rider fan and has wanted to do this, so that makes it okay for me.
I mean, it's convenient that the character that he was most drawn to is the one that was available.
Right.
But sure, whatever he wants to do. He's very charming.
Very charming. Speaking of very charming and one of the best accents of all time, this is crazy. Ryan Coogler is coming back for Black Panther 3.
Yeah.
And Jason, they cast your boy David Johnson from Industry. I love David Johnson.
I know. I absolutely fucking love him. He's great. I haven't even seen Alien Romulus, in which he's also apparently really good.
He was really good. The movie sort of falls apart, but he's quite good in it. Yeah.
He's amazing in the first season of Industry. He's very, very compelling. And so
the Zero-G segment, the Zero-G scene in Romulus was awesome. That was just like a crazy.
I got to see this movie.
Yeah.
But he's a really great actor. I love him. And so I'm excited for this. I didn't even know there was a Black Panther 3, but I'm excited that it's him and Coogler.
Yes. Yeah. And he's playing T'Challa's son, who is aged up. And so, we'll have a T'Challa again back in the suit. So that's pretty exciting. Some of the other stuff that dropped that was just crazy. This is a big week for Hatch News. The new Lanterns trailer dropped. So obviously, Dave, Watchmen, done by Damon Lindelof, there's no reason in the world to expect that could possibly be good. And then to have it be one of the best TV shows of the last 10 years is just amazing. So we were excited to see him come back. And it seems a little weird. They're like, it's True Detective plus Green Lantern. Seems a little weird, but it looks cool to me.
I thought every trailer I've seen is great. I mean, I would probably watch Kyle, what's his name? I don't know, read the phone book. He's sort of... It may be the most perfect Hal Jordan ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty on board, I got to say. Yeah, I'm pretty on board.
Hell yes.
We all fall.
Blade Runner 2099. Speaking of things that aren't supposed to work. Okay, Dave is skeptical. Okay, I'm detecting.
Very skeptical. I'm very skeptical. It looks bad.
I don't know. Bad. Yeah, it wasn't even that it looked bad. It felt bad. It was, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, flying cars, everything, the music, everything was right.
We love
everything
Hunter
was
Schafer.
right. Yeah.
No shade to Hunter Schafer, but something is not right.
Quite wasn't Blade Runner. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't Blade Runner. It just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Didn't do it.
It looks very cheap.
Gave me the icks, as the kids say. I got big icks from it. I don't know why. Yeah.
I think it's very difficult because Blade Runner is such an aesthetically driven property. Like, it really is just like, I mean, that's why 2049 was such a risk. It's just like, you've really got to have
And 2049 came pretty darn close in a lot of different ways. And even that didn't quite hit it.
It doesn't work for some people. Yeah. It's personally my favorite.
I like it. But I do like it, but I just it wasn't exactly Blade Runner. But this doesn't. I don't know. Like
this looks like a fan version of Blade Runner to me. Yeah, like. Yeah.
It also,
I don't love it.
It also looks like a lot of AI without knowing anything.
It did look sloppy. It looked a little sloppy.
All right. Hold. So let's just slow down for just a second here. So first of all, you have Rob Hardy is one of the DPs. There's a bunch of DPs that worked on this, but Rob Hardy, who is your Elden Ring guys, your Elden Ring director's guy.
All right, Alex Garland.
Garland. He's Garland's guy for tons of his stuff. You also have many people that worked on Andor, including Ariel Kleeman, who directed 3 episodes, I think, in season 3.
Yeah. There's no season 3, but go on.
Season 2, he's got some really good talent that's there.
Yep.
And I think the premise of saying this isn't about replicants trying to blend in as humans. It's about a human trying to blend in as a replicant. I think that's a very cool idea. So I like that central framing of it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I hear you.
I mean,
I'm nervous.
And the showrunner doesn't really have like a credit like that makes me necessarily seem super optimistic. But conversely, on deposit, maybe it will be amazing. I'll certainly watch it. Conversely, though, looked fucking awesome. The Neuromancer looked really great. Looked real good. looked real good. I was like, okay, like now we're doing it. Now
I will admit, part of me felt like no one should ever try and film that. But I will be there. I will be there for it. Yeah.
Neuromancer looked like an easy day one watch to me. I was like, yeah, I will 100% watch this when it comes out. And hope for the best.
Callum Turner, that guy's going places.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he's going play. He's getting cast and shit. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Who's showrunning the Neuromancer show?
I don't remember. I don't remember. But Gibson is involved. Apparently, he's like been on set and staying plugged in. So
I'm not sure if he was on set, but he definitely jacked into the set. So.
Speaking of jacking in, Rings of Power season 3.
Yeah,
Dave, you are not watching the show, right? Neither of you guys.
I'm not watching the show, although I do like that Jamie, what's his name from Stranger Things, and I did see him a lot in the trailer, which I did look at. I don't know. Yeah. I'm sorry. Should I watch it? I don't know. I don't know. It bores me. What little I saw of the first season bored me. I'm sorry.
I hear what you're saying, and I think it strikes and gutters. It's not, it's not all home runs, but it definitely has some amazing stuff that they're doing. And season 2 had some really high highs
season 3 is supposed to be like there's someone. Oh, Simon Pegg is voicing the Balrog. I saw as a credit announcement, which seems like amazing. But I didn't realize I didn't know the Balrog had lines.
I mean, it makes sense because the Balrogs were like, they are intelligent, and they were like Balrog captains, and I guess they're the same.
But he's playing Durin's Bane. He's playing the Balrog.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm not sure. It would be amazing, Dave. It would be amazing if in this season 3, if like there was like a 1.5 page soliloquy by the Balrog. Like it would be
don't make me do this.
I like the helmet. The
Gandalf,
the crown looks cool.
I love you, Balrog.
Yeah. He just starts doing the St. Crispin's Day speech or something. Like it's just like it could be amazing. Look, I'm very much in the bag for Lord of the Rings. I just finished our Barad-dûr Lego set.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. A very fun build. I've got my Gollum with ring in hand as we speak.
Nice.
The kids love playing with the minifigs. I love Lord of the Rings. We talk about it all the time. I just haven't watched season 2. I don't know. I'll get to it eventually, I guess.
Okay.
I had this vision that we were going to save the movie until my kids all read the books. And I've now come to the realization that's never, as my daughter plans to leave for college in August, that's never going to happen.
As my illiterate daughter goes to college this fall. I realize that we will not.
I think at some point I'm going to just force them before she goes. Like her gift to me before she goes is we watch all three extended cuts just in one sitting,
No,
just all day. Yeah.
We did it for Christmas last year with the 5-year-old and the 7-year-old, and it went great. So never too young.
We did theatrical over 3 days, and it was really
theatrical. Good. We didn't do extended. Yeah.
I sort of feel like if I'm only going to get them once, I feel like I should do extended, but I don't know. Maybe
no,
not.
For sure.
Last piece, kind of from coming out of San Diego, Spaceballs and the Spaceballs cinematic universe bit. I never had any attachment to Spaceballs.
No, I love Spaceballs. You guys are older.
We're the same age.
The summer camp year when Spaceballs came out was one of the best summer camp years of all time. It was just constant Spaceballs jokes, like for a solid 3 months.
I mean, like all Mel Brooks movies, there's a couple of jokes in there that kill me. I think I have other favorites, but there seems to be a lot of love in this one. And I will give them credit as I didn't see the panel, but I saw some of the graphics from the panel. Did you see their phase 1, phase 11, phase 12?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
It was really well done. Like some really smart comedy writing of like the order you had to watch them and stuff. It was really funny, really confusing on purpose. I will be there. Opening night.
I don't know the extent to which Mel Brooks was involved in the graphics for the panel or whatever, but I have this argument, Dave, that if you look at the integral of funny, who has the sum total of the most funny, I think Mel Brooks might just have it because of he's 100 years old and
he goes back to the 50s, right?
Yeah. And his shit has always killed. He's just always
but it is one of those funny things.
Funny.
If he literally had only done the Sid Caesar show,
Sid Caesar stuff,
and then been run over by a car, he would still be one of the funniest people ever. But then it's and then he made The Producers, and then he did this, and then he did 2000 years. So he is up there.
It's just really it's a really amazing testament to because it's hard. It's very difficult to be funny for across time, just generational divides. He figured something out. I love that guy. In awe of him.
Absolute hero. My last piece of Hatch news is Mail Day, baby.
Oh, what is that?
Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair, 4K.
You know what? I think mine is sitting with the doorman, so I look forward.
I thought it was like an infrared mask that you had bought that you were using to preserve your youthful features.
Dave and I both saw that last year at the Vista. That was last year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And that was QT's personal print that had the French subtitles on it. So it'll be fun to see the 4K cleaned up without the subtitles and really.
You know what I just ordered on 4K, or I think pre-ordered on 4K? I don't know if you guys have ever done it. Have you guys ever done Night of the Comet?
No, but it's been hotly requested.
It's hotly requested.
Put me down for number 11.
Okay, great.
Schedule it whenever you like.
Great. Amazing.
Fuck me. I love that movie. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Well, listen, V is still sitting there, right? We still have to do V.
No, we got a lot. We got so many. We're going to get to 25 before you know it. Yeah.
Well, we also have a question of whether we're going to do Serious Man or not, because I haven't found anybody to do Serious Man. I've never seen it. It's not one of their well-known Coens.
It is good. It's just not fun.
Oh yeah, that was you. That was not yours. That's right. I tried to get you.
I was given the choice, and I begged for Barton Fink because Barton Fink is fun. Yeah.
Speaking of Barton Fink, are you guys ready to get into this movie?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Barton Fink is the dark places we will go to express the pain we all hold inside. In 1941 New York, fresh off a smash Broadway play, an earnest young playwright is lured to Hollywood and installed at the decaying Hotel Earl to write a B-quality wrestling pick for powerful studio mogul Jack Lipnick. But the words won't come. Paralyzed at his typewriter in a sweltering room where the wallpaper Where the wallpaper has already begun unraveling, he meets his neighbor, Charlie Meadows, a warm, sweating insurance salesman brimming with stories of ordinary life. Flailing to find a story that will convey the life of the mind inside of him, he will turn to an uncaring producer, a drunken Southern novelist, and his tender secretary Audrey for guidance. But when faced with murder and the flames of perdition itself, he will be left wondering if the world would be better off never hearing another story written by Barton Fink.
Good one. Good one. I like the focus on the writing and the difficulty. It's good.
Yes. So, Dave, what is your history with Barton Fink?
Saw it in the movie theater. At college. I believe I saw it up in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Saw it, was in a very, at that point, that's a hell of a run for the Coen Brothers. If you go back to, sorry, my phone is for whatever reason.
Blood Simple, Raising Arizona,
Blood
Miller's
Simple
Crossing.
forward. Yeah, it's just an insane run. And I was particularly obsessed with both Barton Fink and Miller's Crossing, just in a sort of boom sort of situation there. At the moment I saw it, I was sort of wrestling with my own sort of like, I think I'm going to try and do this writing thing. So it was a very sort of interesting movie to see with, again, I wasn't going
You're
through
like, this
writers.
looks fun.
Yeah, I wasn't going through writer's block, and I wasn't even like, oh, I'm going to move to LA. But it was that thing of like, I think this is what I'm going to do, which perhaps made the movie just even that much funnier to me. But I was reveling in sort of all things Coen at the time. You know, John Goodman again. What's his name?
John Polito.
Chad. Yeah, exactly. Polito. All these sort of different. It really hit me where I was living at the time. So yeah.
Nice. Jason?
I saw it later when my Coen, because I was in middle school when it came out, and so I hadn't yet like sort of activated my Coen love, and I went and I was like, okay, let's just see everything with these guys, and I didn't love it the first time I saw it. I was like, okay, it's not as like it's like a lot darker. It didn't seem as fun. I loved the Hudsucker Proxy. I loved Raising Arizona. I was like, I want to see.
It's funny. I love Raising Arizona. Not big on Hudsucker Proxy.
Hudsucker's a pretty polarizing one.
We'll get
people.
there.
I think that's a Tim Robbins problem. Anyway, go on.
It could be. It could well be. And I was like, oh, let's see this one. I was like, oh, this is fucking weird. Like, what is this even about? And then I think it's really only after sort of like understanding the sweep of like what the Coens are interested in, which we'll talk about during the course of the episode, and seeing like, No Country, which I think is like, the like sort of the pinnacle for them, and a bunch of the other kind of like heavy hitters where they really kind of revisit similar territory into Barton Fink. I was like, okay, I see what they're doing here. And then I revisit it and I'm like, this is just a delight. Like when you kind of know what the game is, I feel it's much more pleasing, and it's now one of my favorites because I like this branch of the Coens very much.
Wow, dang. Well, as we've discussed on this pod many times, Miller's Crossing was my favorite movie of all time when it came out. And I saw it, and I was like, this is absolutely incredible. And that same year, Wild at Heart came out, which I absolutely was obsessed with. I was very big into David Lynch, obviously from The Dune through Blue Velvet and into Wild at Heart. There was something so powerful in what he was doing. And that year, I was so mad because Wild at Heart won the Palme d'Or and Miller's Crossing didn't. And I was just furious about that. And then 2 years later, you have this film comes out, and the craziness has been taken to 11. All the finale and Goodman going crazy. And I was like, these guys have just sold out, and they're now biting Lynch's style with Barton Fink. And then that goes on to win at the Palme d'Or. And I was just like, I was very annoyed by that. And I thought like it was fine, but I felt like it was like this big reaction to David Lynch. And then Hudsucker after that, I'm like, I'm just out on the Coens. It's not working for me. I've got Raising Arizona. I've got Miller's. I'll be happy. And I didn't come back until really Fargo and started to kind of come back to truly loving them. So this was always a weird one for me. And I never revisited it. From when I saw it.
Salted the earth and refused to cover it for 6 years on the pod until now.
Until the summer of Jason.
Summer of Jason.
Jason on the beach looking out over the ocean. So quick behind the scenes, they wrote this because they were having their own writer's block on Miller's Crossing. They were totally stalled and they couldn't finish it. So they basically stepped away, and then they wrote all of Barton Fink in 3 weeks, which is pretty crazy. Then they went back and finished Miller's Crossing. This was the only film in history to win the Cannes Triple Crown. Palme d'Or, Best Director, and Best Actor, John Turturro, at the 91 festival.
This is a movie the French will like, for sure. This is guided towards the Gallic sensibility.
Well, and also, potential pool house guest for Dave. The panel was chaired by Roman Polanski, so they actually prompted a rule test. That's a deep podcast cut for his pod. This prompted a rule change where they capped how many prizes one film could win. So
I had no idea. Okay.
Yeah, it is the only one to get all three. They definitely did write the story for Turturro and Goodman specifically. They knew that was the plan, but the budget, $9 million, worldwide, $6 million.
Okay.
So,
well, listen, but I mean, look, I bought a copy just this week, so it's doing fine. There's a long tail.
Yes. Yeah, there is a long tail. At the box office in 1991, Terminator 2.
Okay.
Silence of the Lambs.
Sure.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, JFK, The Fisher King, and Naked Lunch.
Yeah.
Did this get any? I know it didn't win any Oscars, but did this get nominations? I have no memory of any of that kind of stuff.
Good question. I don't know, actually.
It was nominated for Best...
swept everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Best Supporting Costume and Production Design.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Best Supporting for whom?
For Michael Lerner as Jack Lip. For Michael Lerner
for
as
Lipnick.
Jack Lip. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Which, if memory serves, there was a good story. I think he ran his own campaign. It was one of those
Oh, really?
Okay. I think so, because he was not anybody's. He was sort of unknown at the time. Yeah, something like that. It's been a while.
That makes a lot of sense.
There's a good Coen Brothers screenplay book that has an introduction by their editor, Roderick Thorpe, who doesn't exist. It's just them. That's their fake name for their editor. And so it's them writing their own introduction, talking about how them as their editor doesn't really like them, which is a very enjoyable book. I believe it's been a while since I read it, but those are a couple of Barton Fink memories that I have buried in my brain somewhere. Yeah.
There's an Entertainment Weekly story about Michael Lerner's campaign for the supporting actor, and it has one of the best leads of any Hollywood story I've ever read, which I will now read to you. This is from March 27, 1992, Entertainment Weekly, written by Jeffrey Wells and Benjamin Svetke. Michael Lerner was working his way through the celebrity-studded crowd at Liz Taylor's birthday bash at Disneyland last month when Shirley MacLaine rushed over and gave him a big, gushy hug. Quote, "Actors I've never met before have been running up to me with nice things to say," the 50-year-old character actor reports. "I've been at it for 24 years, but now I'm an overnight success."
Good for him.
That's tremendous. That is tremendous writing.
He was incredible in this movie.
Absolutely incredible.
I thought he was an anchor of this film, but then secondarily, he looks exactly like my dad. His body shape when he's sitting by the pool and he's got the pants are pulled way up over his big belly. That was 100% my dad's exact body frame. So
the fact that Matt's dad is a Jewish film mogul, Hollywood mogul, kind of explains why he had a Florida Christian bar mitzvah. The whole thing, the picture, it continues to come together.
Yes. Fair enough. All right. Dave, where do you want to start?
Where do I want to start? I want to start with, very specifically, John Turturro's dancing at towards the end of the movie. I think people are very aware of John Turturro, the somewhat serious actor, but there is a freewheeling comedy expression in that dancing that just I love so much. He's so funny, which is what makes him as a serious actor work so well. And the more you watch the film, and I've now seen it a lot of times, the sort of the pretentiousness that he brings to Barton Fink that is so spot on perfect and dry, but absolutely hilarious. His inability, the way he continues to not be able to listen to Charlie, and how he lectures and sort of man speaks to Charlie about, or common man speaks to Charlie
Right,
It is so well done, and there is nothing jokey about it, and yet it is effing hilarious, and he just does not get enough credit. And I'm going to reference a movie that nobody pays any attention to. Did you ever see his take on the Marx Brothers? It was released under it had a couple of different names, like Lame Ducks was one of the names of it, and I think there was a second version of it as well. It was done by Pat Proft, and he plays the Groucho role. It's basically a
Brain Donors.
Brain Donors was another version of it. Yeah, I think there's different titles, but Brain Donors. Basically, he's Groucho. Mel Smith is Chico, and Bob Nelson is Harpo. And instead of Night at the Opera, it's kind of Night at the Ballet with two, like, you've never heard of, like a girl dancer and a guy dancer, whatever. He is so funny as Groucho in ways that I cannot explain.
Wow.
And
crazy.
it's just watch it for Turturo. He is having so much fun in it. But again, that dancing and the way he is just moving his arms and legs, and the fact that just burst of comedy just ends with him getting the shit kicked out of him by the Navy guys. Anyway, I just wanted to call the whole performance out, but just how funny it is. So that's where I wanted to start.
I love starting with that focus. I mean, obviously Turturo with the Coens kind of reaches the apotheosis of the physical comedy in Big Lebowski, and like the whole musical intro to him, licking the ball and all. I mean, which is like a real. I mean, like that's still like that. Like 3 seconds of film gets put into montage all the time.
Every time,
it's just like it's just like, this is some shit that someone once did. And and like and the Coen, and like that big dance is again another Coen's big musical, like like they just love doing a big dance number. Like it's just like one of their favorite things to have an excuse to do. He is tremendous in this. Turturo is, I mean, and he's in every scene. He has to carry like the whole fucking thing.
There's a lot going on in that scene, like the fact that it's a USO dance. He is a young man who is not signed up to be in there, and then when those guys, like the desperation for them of like, I'm shipping out tomorrow.
I'm going to die.
I need this dance. And he could not give a fuck. At all. Like I just thought that was
this is my uniform. It's so good. It's so good. It's great.
Serve the common man.
Well, this actually is a beautiful dovetail into my first point, which is like the delusional artist.
Yes, great.
As like central character, and like it's like, so like in the context of Barton Fink, he's got this delusion that he is in touch with the common man, and like this is just continually sort of made fun of throughout the movie. Like we're never meant to believe that this is true. We're never meant to believe that he has some like unique perspective on like theater for the common man. He's brusque with Charlie. He like Charlie's trying to tell him stories about what it's actually like to be out there. He won't listen. Like the fact that he won't listen ends up being sort of the climax of the movie. Like his inability to listen to Charlie is like the reason why the movie reaches a crescendo. And like, so it's very funny, like this whole kind of, and it's funny in the context of the Coens being unable to write. Because like, they create this writer who is similarly blocked, who basically has no purpose and no kind of, direction in what they're actually trying to do, but has delusions about what they're doing.
But the way it sort of sneaks in a little bit, where you sort of see those little bits and pieces of that first play, and it's certainly, you kind of go, well, this is not for me, fresh fish, and I think we're going to see that guy. And when it loops back around and you realize that this is all this guy can
he's
do.
Got. This is it.
Fresh fish. And
I don't need a postcard.
I think we're going to hear from that wrestler. You just, it's so spot
so
on,
funny.
perfect. Yeah.
And it also sort of establishes this archetype. It's like the beginning of this archetype in the Coens work, which is like the misanthrope, like the misanthrope protagonist. And like, Llewyn Davis is kind of the best direct analog, because it's another artist. In the case of Llewyn Davis is very talented, unlike Barton Fink, but it's like another artist who's like got notions of how they can't compromise on their art, and this ends up being a limitation. And the Coens are obviously just not like sympathetic to that point. I mean, they're sympathetic, but they don't believe it. But like the idea of like putting at the heart of their movies, like these people who do not love their fellow man, but like are like espousing that they're they're folk artists or they're theater, they're common man theater, playwrights. You also get a bit of this in like The Man Who Wasn't There and Serious Man, like people who just like can't like form relationships with other folks who are just somehow apart from the rest of humanity, but like trying to seek that. And I just find it like I like this branch of the Coens where they're wrestling with that type of archetype.
Typical sort of Coen fashion. I guess Barton is loosely based on Clifford Odets, the very famous playwright of the Theater of the People and all that kind of stuff.
The Theater of the People.
And of course, only they would know that. And the rest of us are just like, Clifford Odets, who?
Yeah.
But there was something, right? Like, was he authentic in his desire to create that theater that would be accessible?
He was
people?
more authentic than
yes,
I think Barton Fink is, but I think there is a similar, his background has nothing to, like he does not come to it authentically, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
But Barton does not seem happy to go to Hollywood. He does not seem like he could have been put up at a really nice hotel, but he refused to do that.
Right.
So like this is, I guess, the delusional part of it, but I felt like there was a commitment in his mind to an idea that he was going to try and create this thing, although he was so narcissistic, he could only imagine it coming from his own pain inside of him and wasn't actually looking outside for anyone else's contributions.
I mean, I do think there is in this movie too, like sort of a commentary on it's a movie about movie making, and there's a commentary about like sort of the corrupting nature of Hollywood, like, and the movie ultimately shows out Los Angeles. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, but it also, in the same time, it sort of like makes a little bit fun of anybody who walks around going, "Oh, I don't watch movies," and like his inability to just understand. Like I feel like when my kids were 12, they could have written a wrestling movie. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like
exactly.
like it's almost like his inability to understand the basics of a wrestling movie because he hasn't seen them or chooses not to in a weird way is sort of interesting also. So there's sort of an inverse kind of like, come on, man, movies are fun. Like, so there's that too. Yeah.
I mean, I think that the daily scene where he's watching the devil on the canvas was so funny. And then
Devil on the canvas, Apple, take 4. Yeah.
But then the way it transformed into like horror, I thought was really amazing. Like that was very effective. How it was really hurting him. That was.
But
that
you've
was
got
cool.
you've got sort of him playing off the Mayhew character, which is like a Faulkner stand-in of like someone else who's like a great artist, and like they came to Hollywood and like sort of ended up like corrupted or like diminished or
But even beyond the
destroyed.
corruption, there you kind of get the sense of like even before he got to Hollywood,
he was
kind of diminished, and so it's like this very famous writer that's just, on his knees vomiting and perhaps didn't write 3 or 4 of his best novels.
Absolute. Yeah. No, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
But his opening scene after he's throwing up and Barton is trying to get him for help, the dialogue, like again, it's the Coens, the masterclass. I gather that you are a freshman eager for an upperclassman's counsel. However, just at the moment I have drinking to do. Why don't you visit me at my bungalow, which is number 15, later this afternoon, and we will discuss wrestling scenarios and other things literary.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. I mean, and it is funny because the movie is like full of some of my favorite Coen's dialogue, and it is both a movie about writer's block, so it's kind of like a in-your-face fuck you to like if you're like it's self-reflective because they were struggling with writer's block too, but they're able to produce this like amazing dialogue in the face of someone who can't write more than just the cries of the fishmongers are also heard. From a tenement in the Lower East Side, and then it makes fun of the Faulkner stand-in. It's very of all the sort of like jobs in Hollywood, it is most mean to the writer, like which is like what they primarily are. They are first and foremost. And it's like Lipnick obviously is a joke, but Lipnick ends up like sort of probably being right that Barton can't write this script, and like Geisler is like sort of it's a B picture of wrestling. Like why can't you just get this? Everyone else.
Geisler, what Geisler has to say, like find a writer, just throw a rock,
throw it hard,
throw it hard, whatever. Yeah, that may be the smartest guy in the movie. Yeah.
I use that line all the time. Like I use
really.
Do me a favor, throw it hard. Like I love do me a favor, I love Geisler in this. I think Tony Shalhoub is phenomenal.
Shalhoub is so funny, and it's kind of a part you haven't seen him ever do like before or since. Just I love just the speed of the performance as well.
What year was Big Night? It wasn't much before this, right? Or right around this time? I mean, I think this was part of his breakout.
Big Night was a little bit later, but I could be wrong. I thought I was out
I don't
of
remember,
college,
but
I could be wrong. Yeah. I thought it was like 93, 94 maybe, but I could be wrong. Yeah.
I just the whole thing is like he's taken an interest. Never make Lipnick take an interest. He's so good. He's so good in it. He's great.
Really incredible.
How's Lipnick's ass taste this morning? Like that whole thing. Like it's so. He's so good. He's so good.
Dave, my first point is a question for you, which is how does writing work or not writing? Like how do you do it? How do you approach it? Like and what is that?
It seems like it sucks.
Everyone does it differently. I will admit I am driven by deadline. Like there are the people that will tell you like I sit down every day from 6 to 10 and I write, and then I take an hour break, and then I work from 11 to whatever. It's like my brain sort of calculates, okay, it's due here. If I start here and work nonstop, I can get it done. And any other time, I kind of will do nothing about it. I mean, I'm percolating, I'm thinking, but I am not great at the sort of the blank page, sit down and write for the sake of it. I need ships burning behind me or a hotel burning behind me, as the case may be. Yeah, that's me.
I'm also now, as you said that, as soon as you started saying that, I started remembering 10 appearances ago, in your very first appearance, you said that you would often put on Wrath of Khan.
Oh, yeah.
As your background for
Yes, that's my background music. Yeah.
That's good.
Amazing.
That's good. I need that.
Ryan's revelation on the official podcast that his Battle of the Gullet was really him doing Wrath of Khan in Game of Thrones. It was like, holy shit, man. That's
delightful.
I love this note. Like the Underwood typewriter was so gorgeous, and the shots of like panning across the front of the typewriter and zooming in on the words as they're being revealed. Every time the typing is fast, it's the typist. It's never him. It's always the woman.
Every time you think, oh, he's finally writing. Nope. Back in what's his name's office. Yeah.
But that idea of just the steady decay of the Hotel Earl, the dripping, wallpaper glue and stuff, it looked very tough. It looked like a lot of pressure and quite hard.
Have you ever written in a hotel that was actually hell?
As far as I know, no.
Maybe that's the pressure you need to get these things done.
Oh, I'm in hell. Okay. I guess I can start writing.
Yeah. But then it must just be an incredible feeling when he gets in that flow after she's been killed. It kind of reminded me, is like in a trance, it reminded me of the story of Robert E. Howard, right? Didn't he? He like had a vision that Conan was standing behind him with a sword and like was up all night having,
I think
like
he
visions
was just
and
big drunk also. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Yeah.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
Whatever works. All right. What is your next point, Dave?
The word head is my next point.
Okay.
First of all, heads in general, boxes, but John Goodman. And by the way, I want to say, young me in college did not like the first time through. It's just like, oh, he's misspeaking a couple of times.
Yeah.
And then,
he keeps saying
sort of like, then kind of like having seen the movie and then seeing it a second time, it's like, it's so funny. Heads. Yeah.
He's just telling you he's really into heads.
Yeah.
I know how things get bungled up at the head office. Like that, like it's just cute. It's so good. That's really funny.
Yeah.
That's
really
funny.
Just doesn't stop. And it just keeps coming at you. And they're relentless with it in a great way.
What a performance by fucking Goodman, man.
Yeah.
Like how fantastic is he in this movie? Like it just like does the whole affable neighbor who's just there to
does
help, and
the
like
sort of classic John Goodman right into, as the affable best friend kind of big lug you can count on, and then finds that way of, it's not turning on a dime, but just the gears turn into just malevolent evil, like scarier than any serial killer in any movie. Yeah, just unbelievable. Yeah.
This is one of.
And by the way, Heil Hitler. I just at the end.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
just the most thrown away. Like, does he even mean Heil Hitler? Because it's just like Heil Hitler. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll throw that in too. Yeah, it's great. He really stands out for me. He definitely deserved accolades for this part and this performance. That I guess we're not forthcoming, but like he is, again, that's like another thing I really like in the Coens is like, it's one of their archetypes is like just sort of the animated malevolence that starts with Raising Arizona and, Leonard Smalls and like continues through Anton Chigurh and No Country for Old Men. And it is just this, no, like in the world, there are just like animated avatars of evil who will
honestly,
do evil
like
things.
Forces of nature or forces of evil nature, where like a tornado's gonna tornado. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah. And I love that. I love that about their movies. I think it's like, as we've talked about before, it's just something that like they're drawn to thematically. It's a Cormac McCarthy like kind of notion of how the world is architected. It seems to be how they view things. There's just like, no, there's evil.
Which is why,
come
obviously,
to town.
like there's a reason why, they all came together.
Yeah,
finally.
they keep coming together. Yeah,
they matched.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. The ear problem was on the right ear initially, and then it migrated apparently to the left ear by the end. And I was trying to figure out what that was. Bless you, symbolizing.
Thank you.
Incidentally, just on the Cormac McCarthy, really quick. Someone posted a tweet. Someone had a tweet this week that was like related to Comic-Con and Feige being up there, Kevin Feige being up there. I was just like, for the life of me, I cannot stop seeing Kevin Feige as the judge in Blood Meridian. And they put the little hat on him from Blood Meridian. And it was very convincing. It was really very, very disturbing. The Coens doing Blood Meridian, I think, would be the greatest thing that ever happened. I just don't know if I could. I don't know if I could handle it. They come back together for one last ride, and it's Cormac McCarthy's Blood Meridian. Let's go.
God damn. I didn't finish it. It was too dark for me. So I gotta try that again.
You're weak. Weak man.
I am weak. I just want to say I thought the production design in this film was so fucking good. All of the 40s, especially like the furniture. I just kept staring at the furniture in the waiting rooms and the desks, but the chairs that they're just sitting in and the carpets, it just looked it's so good. And it's our homeboy Denny Gassner. He did Miller's Crossing, Barton Fink, Hudsucker, Lebowski, Oh Brother, Road to Perdition, Skyfall, Blade Runner 2049. Dude, he made that fucking genetic scanner motorcycle thing that they were using. 1917. Like I finally got his Academy Award for 1917, but just
so he's kind of like a little bit at the hip with what's his name, the DP. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, exactly.
Deakins,
exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll get to well, actually we can do that right now. So I mean, this was his first big collaboration with the Coen Brothers. I think he did like some pickup shots on Miller's Crossing, he said, or something.
I think that's right. Yeah.
I think what's his name? Sonnenfeld had to go do Addams Family or something, or had to take off, and so Deakins like helped out doing a couple shots. But so
that's nice.
I mean, this is our boy, and this is the beginning of his truly epic run that took him all the way, and it just looked so good. Even just the slow zoom on the wallpaper for the credits, the idea of the peeling paste, the shot from them on the bed into the bathroom and then up into
the sink.
It's just like flexing, man.
The sink drain. Holy Christ. Yeah.
That's
some
hell?
real fuck filmmaking. Yeah.
The dance floor shot into the trumpet. Same thing. Going down holes.
Yeah.
Of darkness. Deakins, he was on one.
He had the sight. He had the true vision.
And then Carter Burwell obviously has done every single Coen film plus Twilight. Just really, really good.
Great. He's great. It's a great score. Yeah.
He's got the juice. Jason, your next point.
Oh, I was just going to throw out a little fun fact. Carter Burwell was actually, he's older than me, but he was also Harvard Lampoon. And we just had our 150th anniversary of the Lampoon. It was founded in 1876. And for the 150th anniversary, Carter Burwell composed an original sort of fanfare for the Lampoon for its 150th anniversary. It's really cool. Yeah.
Oh my
really
God.
Yeah.
Pretty
neat. Yeah.
That's a flex.
Yeah.
The debate team doesn't have that, I guess.
Nope.
But that's fine.
No, they have no fanfares.
Yeah. My last point is the dialogue. I just want to draw attention a little bit more to some of this best stuff in the script, because Dave mentioned the head point, which I thought was so brilliant. The dialogue between the two detectives, Mastroianni and Deutsch, is some of like the best like Coen patter stuff. Like you get a lot of this in Hudsucker Proxy as well, but like this whole thing where they're telling him who Charlie is, who Munt is like, started out in Kansas City, couple of housewives. Couple days ago, we see the same MO out in Los Feliz. Doctor, ear, nose, and throat man, all of which he's now missing. Well, some of his throat was here. Physician, heal thyself. Good luck with no fucking head. Anyway, like, it's just like, I mean, like, it
is patter. It's also a parody of patter, but at the same time, it is like it's
obviously aware.
Yes.
Yeah, it's obviously aware of doing a genre-y thing, which is why it also exists in Hudsucker Proxy. Like they get to do this 1940s like sort of dialogue that wouldn't make sense in any other era. But like so it's both like they're drawing attention to the fact it's like, oh yeah, this is like a thing you do, and then it's like, by the way, it's the best fucking one. Like it's like also just amazing. It's so good. It's just like, and then like the button on one of those detective scenes being like, it's a Jewish name. I didn't think this place, just to like kind of like remind people of what era this was, like to take them out of the artifice of it, I think is like so elegant, like, and so, it's just shocking. And like, I don't know, like I just like these guys, when they are cooking, it is some of the best fucking movie writing ever. Like it is just, it really like makes me so happy to hear, like, and it's got some, I love it when the Coens do it's not even plant and payoff. They just have like kind of the continuing runs of lines that they like to put in the movie. Like, let's put a stop to that rumor right now. And like the kind of the reflexes that some of their characters, they give to their characters to like help you understand who they are. It's heightened, but it's like, it's just delectable to me. I love it so much. I miss them. I miss my boys. So I just want the back.
I mean, I was going to say, I think Miller's Crossing has even stronger dialogue between Leo and Tom and, just like all the, and Verna, like it's just unbelievable. But then you go Raising Arizona, same thing. Like through No Country, like are these guys the greatest dialogue writers in cinema history? Like they've got to be up there.
It's very fun too, because they often give their best lines of dialogue to like their most vulgar characters. Like they give their best dialogue to like these not dirty cops, but like, anti-Semitic cops. And like they give this whole beautiful patter scene to those cops. Lipnick and like Geisler, who are like, they're not lovable characters. Right. Like, and like, they've got like some of the best stuff. And it's just like, they give these gifts to these characters that are in there to be like, vulgarians, like to be like sort of aesthetic shocks to the system. Yeah. It's a real trick. It's a real trick what they're doing. And like Barton, by distinction, sort of speaks, even though he's the writer, like kind of is often tongue-tied. He can't really express himself. Like when he does, like when he gets wound up,
can barely talk. Yeah,
can barely talk. And like when he does get wound up, like he goes on this whole run, which is pretty funny, about like what theater should be and like who cares about the third Earl of.
But it's so pretentious and so not fun. Yeah,
it's so not fun. It's just like the third Earl of Higginbottom and who did what to Fitzgibbons, and like the best line at the best line from that is Charlie being like, well, I could feel my butt getting sore. Like, it is, he's just getting outclassed by Charlie, who is a mass murderer, which is great. I just love it. I love them.
Very, very good. Dave, your last point or anything you want to make sure we cover.
I have sort of two things that are on my
of course.
One is it's a boys club, but there's always just a killer woman. And Judy Davis, who I'm not going to lie to you, I have like the world's biggest crush on. I love Judy Davis in movies. I love her in this. I love her in The Ref. I love her in Deconstructing Harry, like movies I love. And she doesn't steal the movie, but in this boys club, if you will, she's just really just so good. So damn good. So that was one point, and then
that's sultry and in danger,
but also possibly smartest person in the movie, like actually, actually competent,
the real artist.
Like, I'll help you. I help Bill. I can get this done. There's none of the pretension of literature. She's writing Absalom, and it's just a day in the week kind of a thing.
Like it's not that big a deal. There's just a formula. You start from here, you go to there, you go to there, you add possibly a waif, like you could do it.
But only in a weird way a woman can kind of deconstruct it and not make such a big deal about it. So I think that's there's something about that. And then the other one, which, Jason, you kind of hinted at, but I just want to say the word specifically, Judaism, which another Coen movie that isn't necessarily specifically about Judaism, but is dipped in Judaism. And just, from Lipnick and his fake uniform.
Oh my God.
I mean, there's so much Judaism in your face in this movie.
Yeah.
It's sort of fascinating. Some of it's ugly, and I'm sure there are people that think it's an anti-Semitic movie in some ways. And yet, I don't know, to me, it's a really lovely representation. Also.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I have 100%. No, I love it. I mean, the Coens don't talk about and don't really, A Serious Man is the exception to the rule.
Yes.
It's like their most
That's
personal
the one where
realm.
it's kind of like, it's about Judaism. But
it's about Jews.
But this one
and Midwestern
is as
Jews,
much about Jews as anything they've ever done. Yeah.
No, it's great. I mean, it's great. All the scenes between, it's just like one of my favorite throwaway jokes is it's like I'm from New York originally. Well, mints before that. If you know if you go all the way back, which we won't if you don't mind, and I'm not asking. It's just it's like this whole it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. It's true. And it is this it's this unblinking sort of look at Hollywood in the 1940s. I mean, in a sense, it's just is a Jewish industry. There's you're gonna run into some Jews. And it's a really fun example of representation matters to me in the Coens.
Dig it. I just have a couple of quick honorable mentions.
Oh, good.
Was this the longest bell ring in cinema history?
Oh yeah, the Chet bell ring.
How about Buscemi as Chet?
Shout out to Guy Buscemi, doing
He's
great.
Just you just gotta love though. And by the way, you sort of get a sense of it with the Odyssey too. That these people that are aware that they are lucky enough to sort of be in the club, that they are part of the Nolan repertory squad or the Coen Brothers repertory squad, and the willingness to kind of pop in and do something like just Chet is just fabulous. Yeah.
I wonder if
really
if you trace it, if that's sort of where things went off the rails for them a bit, the Coens. Not the movie quality in a way, but just maybe it didn't feel like family anymore or something like that, where they just weren't working with all their same guys again, and it stopped feeling like some kind of ineffable glue that was keeping it together stopped working. But yeah, they really had they had just such a a bounty of talent, of folks who just knew exactly what to do in this universe and how to play. It was really something. Even folks like Polito has a very small, very small part in this. Has this amazing scene.
So different than Miller's Crossing. It's kind of wild.
Oh yeah.
It's so the scene where Barton shows up to the house and he's out by the pool and he's like, I don't want to tell you what I'm writing or whatever. And he gives Lou misreads the look from, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe this is what he was supposed to do. But he's like, never mind me, never mind how many years and goes on this little run, this little thing about the contents of your head. It's so good. It's such a great menace without being menacing little performance. It's his one big speech in the movie, but then he's back at the end being like, yes, Colonel, he's calling.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
Very good.
It's great.
Very good.
So Matt, in all, how much did your appreciation of this film change as someone who didn't like it when you first saw it? I was mad at it because of the award season, is what I gathered.
I definitely definitely enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I did the first time. I will say, again, this is inextricably linked to Miller's Crossing in my mind. So the notion of following Tom, who has lots of problems, but Gabriel Byrne's performance as Tom is so compelling and he's such a character, it's so easy to root for, is very difficult when you have Barton, who is just kind of hard to, he's just kind of miserable in these awful circumstances. So for me, I respect it much more than I did the first time, and I appreciate more what they're doing, and especially the connectivity to Hail Caesar, which I also quite liked. So I liked it a lot more, but it did not ultimately punch through
because of Barton, because of the character of Barton mostly is what I'm.
I think so. I think that's probably right. Just the kind of dour circumstances. What is this? This is a fruity feeling movie. What was it? What does Lipnick how does he describe it? It was just kind of a sad movie.
Yeah. See, Dave, we come back again to anti-Semitism.
Nope, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Hey guys, I'm running away for 1 minute. I'll be literally right back. Okay, I apologize.
Okay. No worries.
Yeah, you learn nothing from your Christian bar mitzvah about how a dour protagonist is a gift.
But does that make sense?
I think Barton is a hard character. Like, again, it kind of goes back to my first point about misanthropy, which is like, he's a difficult character to root for in the same way that the protagonist of A Serious Man is difficult to root for, and the same way that Billy Bob in The Man Who Wasn't There is difficult to root for. And also, I think Llewyn Davis is difficult. Like, Llewyn Davis is another dour, sad, sort of character who can't connect to other people, kind of fucks up every situation he gets into, despite having tremendous talent, and you root for him because he's got this talent. Like, it would be great if he could he's not going to figure out something to do with it. He's a piece of shit at some level.
He's going to get beat up.
And like Barton is like, is that, but without the talent. And so I think there's something akin there. So I guess like I wonder kind of how you would compare and contrast the Llewyn Davis to the Barton of it.
No, that's an interesting thing. And in Llewyn Davis, you have this music that lifts you up, right, out of
Llewyn
those dark
talent. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and not just the talent, not just seeing the fact that he has the talent, but the music itself touches you in a way that lifts you up and out of the circumstances that you don't get by watching him typing into a typewriter or by having him say, I finished the script or whatever.
I agree with that. I mean, for me, I think in Barton, the music is the dialogue. Like, the dialogue is so transcendent. And once you clock into like sort of these tricks, like the head thing that Dave was talking about, which I knew about few of them. There's a few of them I was tracking, but I realize now there's even more.
Yeah.
And like, but there's so many, I mean, there's so much of that where it's just like every time, you get like the scenes of Barton. I actually rewatched the movie a couple times, and I was just like kind of skipping through the silent scenes of Barton typing and like going back to like, okay, give me the next Lipnick scene, give me the next Geisler scene, give me the next detective scene. And if you watch just like those, like, now the movie doesn't work that way, obviously.
Right.
But like the rhythm of the movie does work because you've got these scenes with this very energetic dialogue delivery, and then it cuts into these other, it cuts into these more sad bits. I just really like.
Yeah. That's fair.
I'm back. Jews. What?
Jews, yes. Matt. I was asking Matt to compare and contrast, like, why he, like, even though Llewyn Davis is a misanthropic character who can't get along with people and gets beat up, and why he likes that movie and likes that character and has a harder time connecting in Barton and the dourness of Barton, and it's because Barton is Jewish and Llewyn Davis isn't. That's the issue. And even though that Oscar Isaac is half Jewish, it doesn't.
He is half Jewish.
Matt can tell that, like, it's and Turturo isn't Jewish at all, but it doesn't matter. Matt knows. Matt knows what's going on.
Okay, good. Thank you for that. None of that made it into the final version. Enjoy that, uncut listeners.
That should be a social clip. That would get engagement from the people who are also mad about the Latvian accent, I bet.
Guys, who would Tilda Swinton play? A lot of roles.
A lot of options.
I'm WB Mayhew because I want to hear her off screen just yelling, "Where's my honey?" But yeah. I just to hear her yell, "Where's my honey?" Yeah,
and then singing that like racist song, whatever that was, that didn't sound good.
Yeah, old Black Joe. Bugs Bunny sings that song. I looked up the history of that, and it's like it's a minstrel song written by white people, and it's a very racist song about a slave returning home.
In white people's defense, they did write the best minstrel song.
Yeah, exactly. And like, no, but Bugs Bunny sings that part like that. I'm coming, but my head is hanging low. Like, he sings that part. Yeah. I like that. I would try Tilda as Geisler. I mean, I hate to get rid of Tony Shalhoub, but
honestly, she could be Geisler. She could be either cop. I mean, she really,
yeah.
Her dress as a colonel at the end of the movie. I got no problem with that either.
So good.
Yeah.
Where's my honey?
Man. Guys, can we do some quick voicemails?
Please.
Let's go.
All right. Here is our first voicemail coming from far across the world.
Hello, Bogpod. Hey, Bogpod. Hello, Bogpod. Hey, Bogpod. Hello, Bogpod. Hey, Bogpod.
Bogpod.
Lay it on us, Ethan.
Hello, Escape Hatch. I'm standing in the parking lot of a theatre, having nearly forgotten to send a voicemail, hence the rumbling. Barton Fink is really good. Have you experienced the life of the mind? What is the life of the mind to you? When do you think to yourself, boy, I'm experiencing the life of the mind? It's when I achieve flow state while writing. That's when I think I'm experiencing the life of the mind. But what is the life of the mind to you, if anything? I don't have a shotgun. I promise. This is a lot less intimidating than the John Goodman situation. Goodbye. Lots of love.
Dave, I think you're our guide into the life of the mind as a
well,
scribbler.
thank you. I was going to say, I don't know if you're ever actually thinking like I'm in the life of the mind right now. Like you're probably not actually. It's more sort of it's more of a hindsight feeling, I think, where you guys kind of go like you finish a day or something and go, man, we were really jamming there, and like in a really good way, whether you're working with people or working yourself or whatever. So I don't know if you're can be that aware of it on sort of the front end of things, but yeah, that's my best answer. Although I will say, for me, a lot of times it's like, I'm sure you've heard, it's like when you can't think of something and then you're in the shower, like that's the life of the mind. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Where you you all of a sudden unlock like act 3 or you solve like a giant issue when you're not actually writing in a weird way. It's so like that to me is a little bit the life of the mind where you just are like, I just took a shower and I just solved the entire script. Yeah, that's kind of great.
That's great.
Yeah.
God, I need something like that. I will come back to an episode in my life I have referenced. I can't even mention how many times on this podcast, which is nerd camp that I went to my sophomore year of high school in Missouri, which was 3 weeks at the University of Missouri in Columbia, Missouri, which was like, and there needed to be 2 students from each county in the state of Missouri who were selected to attend this 3-week program. And you would do things like, I learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube there. I took a class on Greek, which we talked about last week, actually on the spot. So it's only been 1 week since I've mentioned nerd camp in Missouri, in central Missouri. And I took logic puzzle classes and just real nerd pursuits with a wild cross section of Missouri's brightest minds, of 15-year-old brightest minds. And I was like, this is it. This is the life that I am meant to lead, is just like hanging out with a bunch of nerds, like doing nerd shit, talking about Star Trek. And I'm doing it. And it turned out that was probably the closest I would ever get. From that point on, I never really felt that way again. But for 3 glorious weeks of summer, it really did something. So
no wonder you have such a thing for real genius.
Yeah,
that was your Mitch moment.
It
really was.
Also so good.
So good. It really did. It really meant something to me.
Nice.
I went to a nerd camp, by the way. I went to a science camp.
It's called Harvard.
It was called Watonka. No, Camp Watonka. And we had Dungeons and Dragons on the schedule. It was pretty great.
Oh my God, what a gift.
Yeah, and to date it, we were doing computer programming on TRS 80s, Trash 80s, and we were saving our files to tape recorders. Like that's
God.
Drives, tape recorders. Yeah.
I went to at Daytona Beach Community College, which has since rebranded as Daytona State. I went in 1982, and that was when I would walk across from my swim team thing that I did, listening to the Police's Synchronicity, I'll Be Watching You, play at the arcade Tron, the video game, and then go and program Trash 80s using BASIC.
Wow.
So exact same sitch.
Yep.
I got to fire up a Trash 80 emulator out here in order to fit in with this podcast.
I mean, I just always felt bad that we were on Trash 80s instead of Apple IIs. Like I had massive FOMO that we had shitty computers.
You were right.
All right, here is our next voicemail.
This is your brother, Animal Mother.
Here we go.
Cunnilingus. I've been reading that word since I was 12 years old and still can't seem to wrap my tongue around. Wait, was that a pun? Or just bad taste? Wait, that may have been another pun. Just fuck off.
Hello, animal friends and animal lovers. Of all existential curses, the very worst is script writing. Thank you all. See you next. As with Jesus, Mandela, or Keanu, mythologizing real people means cauterizing their legacy, making them too good to be common, and by extension, their humanity, struggles, and messages matter less than their image. This is called, for real, Santa Clausification, and John Goodman is a perfect jolly old Nick, if maybe a little hot-headed. Barton is a public intellectual who Santa Clausifies people he barely knows and himself, isolating him from the common man he claims to champion. His life's intensely artificial, where a cheap LA hotel is a kitschy hell, a boozy asshole can be saved as long as he's a real writer, and the nightmare that is the life of the mind can be put on paper if you're a true artist. Empathy requires understanding, Aubrey said, and he doesn't understand what he doesn't understand. But great things are expected of him, so yeah. He's a man. We wrestled. Tell us of a common person you feel is getting Santa Clausified and why. Thank you all. See you inside the framed beach picture and keep the change filthy.
Good question. I mean,
Dang.
this happens a lot in politics, right? I mean, like this is like the, we went to a diner in rural Pennsylvania to ask these people why they still whatever, like that, like this is like, I think every political season, whether it's like, NASCAR dads or, whatever, Walmart moms, whatever it is, like there's
what was his name? John the Plumber or whatever that idiot was.
Joe the Plumber.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to that guy?
Sorry, yeah.
Joe, I think he was at January 6th. No, I mean, don't sue us. I don't think you were at January 6th. But no, like there is always something.
He was more
like
January 7th, if you know what I mean.
There's always something like that every election cycle where they try to come up with some, kind of mythical, because the country is, which makes sense because the country is so big and raucous and confusing that you really can only understand it through caricature. You can only tell a story about it through character, I guess I should say. So I think in politics, this is pretty common.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was crazy. Wickler was talking about how, Wisconsin is so 50-50 and, it like just comes down to 20,000 votes and that's it. And, you have Trump won and Tammy Baldwin won, in 24. So it's just on a knife's edge.
Joe the plumber passed away 3 years ago, by the way. R.I.P.
Okay.
He was only 49. R.I.P. to him.
Tough one out there. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Animal Mother. Here is our next voicemail.
A truth sayer.
Hey, Birya here for Barton Fink. The Summer of Jason is the gift that keeps on giving. Barton Fink is a film about a man at war with a blank page and the Underwood Universal Typewriter sitting on his desk like a judge. That machine just stares at him, waiting. The Underwood was no ordinary prop. By 1939, the Underwood Typewriter Company had produced 5 million machines, and at the height of their industry, at their main factory in Hartford, Connecticut, turned out one typewriter every minute. For today's Truth Sayer, 3 stories about how Underwood promoted itself in the years before World War II. 2 of these are fiction.
I love this.
1 is true. Time for the Truth Sayer. Number 1, in 1926, Underwood Typewriter sponsored a national typing speed tour, sending out champion typist Margaret Holloway to 34 cities in 60 days, typing live in department store windows and drawing crowds of hundreds. Underwood advertised her as the fastest fingers in America and sold a record number of typewriters that Christmas. Or is it number 2? To celebrate the opening of the Chrysler Building in 1930, Underwood installed a fully functional number 5 on the observation deck and invited journalists to type dispatches from the highest office in New York. The coverage ran in 47 cities. Number 3, Underwood built the world's largest typewriter and put it on display at Garden Pier in Atlantic City for several years. It drew enormous crowds. Often a young woman sat on each of the oversized keys. All right, which of these Underwood promotions actually happened?
That's all really good. Do you think the first one? The
I
lady?
like the first one. I like the first
The
one.
lady one
Lady in a
sounds
window. Lady in a window.
That sounds crazy. I'm going
Lady
with
in
the
a window.
Chrysler one.
I'm going with Lady in a window.
You're going with Chrysler Building?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm with Dave.
Lady, Dave Sounder needs to just be the lady in a window from now on. Every time Dave shows up, we play lady
in a window. Headless lady in a window.
All right. Here we go.
Did you pick out the true story about Underwood typewriters? It's number 3. Yeah, they built a 14-foot typewriter on the Atlantic City boardwalk.
What?
With dames sitting
You
on the
learn
keys.
nothing every
We used to be a
day,
real
yeah.
country. Now I wonder if Joel and Ethan were using an Underwood when they typed, "Look upon me and I'll show you the life of the mind." Here ends the Truth Sayer.
Dave, what was your first typewriter or your first word processor? Like, where did you start
I had
It's
a
electric or
early on, we would go to my dad's office and use like the IBMs that were there if it was something important.
What did your dad do?
He was a lawyer, but it was just they had a lot of typewriters. They had like electronic typewriters because the first one I had, I don't even remember the brand, but it was a travel one, so it was in a suitcase kind of a thing where like it opened up and it was my mom's, like I think it was her typewriter from school, and it had a ribbon and everything, and we used that. It was kind of wild. And then at some point we had one of those early sort of hybrid typewriter word processors where the screen was like 3 lines, like right in the dead center. That was a Brother, and that was pretty good for a while. So, yeah.
Definitely had a Brother word processor for sure back in the day. All right. Thank you so much. Here is Kev.
Hey, Escape Hatchets. Kev here, coming to you from my office, hence what I imagine to be a gigantic echo. This week, we're back with the Coen Brothers with Barton Fink, which I think was on the schedule and then was delayed. I don't even remember. But what's important is that we're here now and we're doing it. The great Dave Mandel is back.
Yes.
Kev's question.
Thank you.
Barton Fink is a playwright who gets whisked away to Hollywood in order to make it big. And it happens so often on stage, both with playwrights and with actors, that you see somebody in a play you really love and you blink and all of a sudden they're on TV and you never really see them on stage again. And same with many great playwrights. It's because you have to, right? So that's the situation. Kev's question. If you guys were to write a play, what would that play be about? I'm definitely curious. It cannot be the musical of Dune. So think about that. But if you could write a play, what would it be about? With peace and love, I'll talk to you all very soon.
Once again, it's Kev's questions.
Have you written for the theater, Dave? Have you written for the theater?
I have not. I was, vaguely approached once. Never really had any
The Cat and the Hat, the musical on Broadway.
I've never had any kind of idea that I was like, this is a play kind of a thing.
Right.
So
Right.
that has I guess, stopped me a bit. they don't make them as much anymore, but I used to love mystery plays. You see them a lot in London. They still kind of do some of them. So I like that kind of a thing, like The Mousetrap, which has been running a million years. But no, I've never written anything like that. I have no great answer for this. Yeah.
What's the one with Christopher Reeve and Michael Caine?
Death Trap, really good.
Yeah.
Started
I have
to play a fun movie.
I haven't watched
it.
I haven't watched it since it came out.
Holds up, really good mystery. Yeah, so
Interesting.
Really?
I would try to write something, absurdist, and it would be terrible. I would basically be the Barton Fink of bad absurdist.
There's
theater.
a very famous play that ran for only a couple of nights and was sort of destroyed in I think the New York Times by Frank Rich called Moose Murders.
Love that.
Yeah, and it was just terrible apparently. But I always thought it might be interesting to try and do a play about the ending of Moose Murders, about Moose Murders, a play about the play being a disaster. I don't know.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
It's very inside theater, I guess. Maybe a little too much. Sorry.
Kev will like this.
Yeah.
Kev will
Okay.
like
Good.
I don't know why, but my first thought was a play that all takes place in the House, and it's election night 2016. Just because I just remember I've forever been cemented by my wife and everyone else as the guy who was like, just hold on, Pennsylvania's coming.
Right, here it comes. We're gonna be okay.
We're gonna be okay. Nate said it was gonna be all right, and just that existential dread as that all falls apart.
I don't even like watching the Succession episode about the.
That was very scary. That was really scary. Actually, I actually don't know how we handle that scenario. By the way, I still don't think we have an answer.
I think we'll find out. I think we'll find out.
Jesus. All right, last voicemail. Cool.
Hey, this is Corey calling from Austin, Texas, about Barton Fink, that Coen Brothers movie from 1991 that gets better every time I fucking watch it.
Thank God.
Just such a great fucking movie. I used to think it was a good movie, and now I'm like,
this is the best news of the day.
Like one of their best.
Oh my God.
It's so much fun. It's so open to interpretation. I think there's so much going on. Turturo is just firing on all cylinders. Fucking Goodman is kicking ass. We got a cameo by Steve Buscemi and some of the other fucking Coen Brothers regulars. It's so good. God, it's so good. I mean, that wallpaper. It's like so like Cronenberg. It's so fleshy and like I don't know, what is that coming out of the walls, like semen or pus or not wallpaper paste, that's for fucking sure. I don't know. It's gross. But yeah, super Lynchian too. Like there's a lot of stuff not just the his hair looks like a razor head or something like that. There's just the sound design in this is fucking phenomenal. Really reminiscent of some of the stuff that Lynch does, that I really love about Lynch films. Anyway, I won't take up too much time. Other than say, I do love this movie. Who would Tilda Swinton play? I'm going Chet all the way. A nice little chat from Tilda.
Interesting.
I can see
love
that.
Wow.
Thanks for doing this one. Summer Jason's just rocking and rolling. We are just kicking ass and taking names.
The people love the Summer of Jason.
I don't even know what's next week, but I'm sure I'm going to love it. All right. Unless it's about submarines, then fuck that shit. Okay.
No, then you won't like
Love you guys. Talk to you next week. Bye.
Dang.
That's great. I wasn't doubting Corey, but I didn't know if this would be in his wheelhouse. I do like it is interesting, the Cronenberg observation, because there is like sort of a like the pus and the ear and the wallpaper and all the sort of the grossness of it is unusual for them in some degree. Like, there's not like they don't have a ton of that. So yeah, love that observation. It's great.
We're doing The Fly next month, and I have not rewatched that movie.
Are we?
40 years.
The Summer of Jason ended abruptly.
Meredith's call, buddy. You gotta go where the guests go.
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's fine.
Guys, we did it.
Hold on, I got one
it.
last thing based on Corey.
Please.
I know Corey didn't exactly
Please.
ask a question, so I'm going to
Please,
kind of
no.
whatever.
Oh, please.
What do you guys think the ending means, or what do you think the ending is, if you don't mind? I'm curious. Yeah. Because I have a theory that I don't necessarily think, I think it's right, but I don't necessarily know if anyone else thinks it. So I'm curious. Yeah.
So I think frustratingly for Matt, I think it's meant to be ambiguous and not like have I don't think it's meant to have a definite ending. The parts of it that like sort of I think work are, it's the girl from the picture and he says to her, "Are you in pictures?" And she's like, "Don't be silly." And like this whole like, and I think that is as much like what the ending is about as anything else, which is just like he's like lost the ability to kind of distinguish reality from not, and like doesn't, and can no longer kind of make sense of the world that he lives in because he's like through the looking glass into this like hell dimension. So that was my interpretation. I do love, incidentally, I do love that the seagull dives into the water right at the end of the last shot. I think that's like really beautiful.
It's also the first shot. The first shot when he comes to California is the ocean shot, but it's not him there. It's just like it's kind of setting the stage there. So as soon as I saw the picture, and I didn't remember it from the thing, but as soon as I saw the picture in the hotel room, I was like, he's going to write about that at some point. So that's my takeaway, is that that is going to be his next story, is going to be about this woman and what's happening there. And it's probably not going to be about the common man. So
I don't think I don't think there's any like sort of future. I think he's just stuck in hell forever at this point. I think he's like, I don't think there's any kind of coming
See, I think it's a weirdly positive ending. Which
I like it.
I think it's like Charlie sort of succeeded and like shook him out of his assholeness, like has not necessarily shown him the life of a common man, but like all of a sudden now Barton Fink actually has something to write about. And so when he like for a guy that like couldn't write and it was fishmongers and all his nonsense, he's like had this insane adventure. He has seen shit wherever there was hell or not. He has seen shit. And now as he sits there sort of on the beach, while she says, "Don't be ridiculous," it's almost sort of like, stop making writing pretentious and now just you can write. I don't know. I mean, and again, not based on anything other than my own insanity. So please take it as
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that because it's connected to sort of another idea, which is like, what is it that allows him to write what cures his writer's block?
Right.
Like, what are we meant to understand about what cures his writer's block? Because it's like it's not like, he has to have this entirely like visceral experience in order to kind of break through. And so maybe there is like a hopeful end to this. It's like, you just need to get totally fucked up and be disabused of all this bullshit. And
you have to go through hell to come out the other end and be able to write, which is sometimes what writer's block does feel like, I guess. So,
but I think he still will be trapped in hell, by the way, just because as Lipnick says, you're going to be working for us. You're going to be right. We're going to own every single thing that you make. So is trapped.
I would almost argue that doesn't matter because it's not about what if he writes a good script, no one has to make it. He actually finally writes a good script. I mean, again, yeah.
Yes. I agree. Like that's him trying that is his ticket to try and get out, is if he can tell that story, and maybe it doesn't matter if anyone ever reads it or not. Right.
I do think the hopeful read is somewhat valid because like he at least is seeing things more clearly than he was before. Like
he was shit that he never would have thought Barton Fink, early Barton Fink, like the Barton Fink who was up his own asshole, which is really what he is, would never go on a beach, would never sit on a beach. Like, I don't know. So I guess I'd like to think it's something, but maybe I'm completely wrong.
I love this. I'm into it.
Jason's gonna watch it again. I'm
gonna watch it again. Well, we were saying also, like, this whole observation about like the number of head mentions in it from Charlie. I got to go back and look at all those because I noticed some of them when you were talking about it.
There's so many from him, but everybody also uses the word too. Everybody uses, other people use it more like correctly, like, but the word head is in the script a lot.
Right.
He really like does like malapropisms and like just jams the word head in random places. Yeah.
It's so funny.
I also thought it was funny. Like, this isn't that many years before Seven.
No, that's right.
Right.
What's in the box?
The infamous head in the box.
Yep.
Like, I was kind of surprised by that. Guys, we did it.
Yay.
We did it.
Yeah.
Barton Fink. Dave, what do you have to plug, my friend? You have at least a couple of things.
We got the big Stuff Dreams Are Made of podcast you can check out. I'm going to remind people to go pick up, even though I have nothing to do with it, I'm going to remind people to pick up Ben Wickler's book. This is the plan. Take a read of that. At some point, and I guess 27, 28, or 29, we've got the sequel to The Grinch coming out that I'm going to be co-writing with my old writing partners. So lots to come. Yeah.
Lots happening.
Tell the people about the book you're writing, Dave.
That's right. I forgot about that, too. I am working with Brandon Allinger on a 50th anniversary costumes of Star Wars A New Hope.
Oh, yes.
And that has been
that's
really
so
exciting. And I actually am going to bug you guys. I am coming up to the ranch, not next week, but the week of the 10th. So I will be up wherever that is if you want to try and get a bite or something when I'm in that sort of Northern California-esque area, which I think is near you guys, maybe.
It is.
Kind of.
It is. I unfortunately have to go visit my ancestral homeland of St. Louis, Missouri that week. But if it's 125 degrees with the heat,
maybe you'll push it. Maybe you'll push the trip or something. But
I would love to push the trip. But I would love to see you anytime it can happen. That's great. I'm really excited for the book. That's amazing.
It's going to be really good. It'll be out obviously for the 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
And so we are actually a little bit, as typical fashion, racing to get it done a bit. So we've been tracking down stuff in collectors' collections that people haven't seen before, which is really great, including stuff from my own collection. And now we are going up to the Lucas Ranch to take pictures of some of their stuff, some of which we've been able to sort of very specifically identify, or they've identified as A New Hope. So it's very fun to kind of like specifically look at just the New Hope stuff in a really interesting way. So, and hopefully this book begets an Empire book and then later a Jedi book. So
that'd be
genius.
Great. Oh my God. Yeah. What a move.
Genius. Franchise, baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Franchise, baby. I love it. I am also out of town that week. So Dave, we will next be hanging out in Los Angeles at the Lucas Museum premiere party.
Jason, you coming to that too, or did you not sign up for that?
I'm not coming to that because I have a plan to take the kids to the museum for my birthday, like on the 24th, like the weekend of the 24th. So
that's your 50th birthday.
My 50th birthday is September 24th.
I'm September 24th.
No.
Yeah,
what?
September 24th, 1970. That's my birthday. Yeah.
We're cosmic twins?
Yes.
Us and Jim Henson?
Yeah, and Jim Henson, exactly. Yeah.
Get a Cuban-shaped cake. Like, let's go.
I did that for my 40th.
I know.
For my 40th. Did I tell you that? Oh, I don't know. I thought you were like, oh my God, I've told that story. Okay.
This is great. I love this. What a discovery
you guys are gonna be hanging out.
Yeah, we're going to hang out. I'm going to come down to you. Dave, I'll come down to you for my birthday.
Not my kids, but Jason's kids.
Maybe I'll get free. Let's see what happens. All right. Okay.
I also might be picking up a new sports car in Los Angeles that weekend. It's not just the museum. But yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Amazing.
Jason, what do you have to plug, my friend?
A great story came in that was related to where we started the pod. So I'll plug this as we go at the which apparently the headline is the DNC lost nearly $29,000 to an email scammer posing as Ken Martin.
Oh, Jesus.
The DNC caught the error, but only recovered a portion of the funds. All right. It's going great.
It's going
great, guys.
It's going well.
Hang in there.
All right, everybody hang in there. We're going to make it.
The password was Ken Martin 3. That was the password.
Yeah, exactly.